Media bias is always a big topic here on Byline. I get accused of it by people that don't realize, hey, this is an opinion show and I mostly write columns for the newspapers. But there's plenty of journalists who are not commentators, but they let their politics show up in their coverage anyway. And they don't admit what their politics are, but they put it in by what they choose to cover, what they choose to ignore, and how they cover certain stories. My column this morning in the newspapers detailing the media party bias and reporting on the robocall story and claims of voter suppression certainly got a few knickers in a knot. I pointed out in the column that reporters that have covered every twist and turn in this story, but they seem to ignore that which does not support their conclusion. The Conservatives are guilty. That claim woke up Stephen Marr, who tweeted out this. This robocall column from Brian Lilly is 90% baloney. Really, Stephen? Which part? No, it's actually accurate. Then Glenn McGregor, his partner in crime, chimed in with this. Not one credible journalist has claimed robocalls changed outcome of the last election other than Brian Lilly's straw man. And then their mini sidekick, CBC's blogger in residence, Katie O'Malley. Yes, you really do pay someone to blog it. Tweet all day at the state broadcaster, which she said this: as far as I can tell, the Graves affidavit has never been central to the coverage or the allegations. Now, that's not what I claimed, and I didn't claim any of what they refuted. No, I just claimed that they're ignoring that which shows that, well, maybe Graves was wrong. But the media was definitely willing to play up the Graves allegations of voter suppression quite strongly. Here's CBC. Shocking poll suggests fake election calls widespread. That was in April 24th. Then Michael Valpy in the Globe and Mail, April 23rd. Polling firm finds evidence non-conservative voters targeted in robocall scandal. Glenn McGregor even said that they found statistically significant percentage of people polled doing this. It was in Post Media, it was in CBC, it was in the Toronto Star, it was in the Canadian Press, it was everywhere. They don't like pointing out that they only report one side of this story. Media bias, unfortunately, is also an issue south of the border. Christian Roby is with the Media Research Center. He joins us now from Washington, where they study. Christian, this is what you guys study. I'm betting you're probably shocked that we've got a left-wing media here in Canada as well, though.
I'm shocked that there's media bias in Canada.
and that there's gambling at the back of my bar.
That's right.
This is an issue that's really heating up right now because of the election campaign you guys are having. And is Romney getting a fair shake right now? Because my sense is no.
Well, he's not getting a fair shake, but I'll tell you, he really is doing as good a job, I think, as a candidate could do in dealing with this adversarial media. And he is doing exactly what he ought to do. He's confronting them right on. And also, if I may say, with this pick of Paul Ryan past week, he changed the terms of the debate. All of a sudden now, we're talking about substance. We're not talking about diversions. And I think that was a very smart move.
You and I are talking about substance. You and I are talking about substance, but some of the media still following the White House issued talking points. Ann Romney was on Rock Center last night, and you guys posted a clip on your website highlighting something you see as wrong. I want to play the clip and then let you explain why this is bothersome. So Ann Romney last night on Rock Center. Here it is.
Why not be transparent and release more than the 2010 and the estimates for 2011?
Have you seen how we're attacked? Have you seen what's happened?
It's been in the press quite a bit. Now, are you angry that it's been in the press? I mean, should you not be questioned about your finances?
So what's wrong with asking about the tax returns? What's wrong with that?
Well, there are two things. There is reality. There's the way that things ought to be, and then there's reality. In reality, let's say that there was full transparency and the press treated both sides fairly, then there would not be an issue here. But what's going on here is that the Obama campaign, with their co-opted media, is looking for an issue, looking for issues to divert the national conversation away from the economy. Because once they start talking about the economy, once the Obama campaign has to defend its record, its track record on the economy, well, guess what? The election is in peril. So they're finding as many things like these tax returns, for example, to divert the public opinion away from that issue. Now, he has already released 2 years of his tax returns.
That's what's required by law, isn't it?
That's what's required by law. Here's what he knows, and here's the reality. He knows that if he withholds his tax returns, they're going to attack him. He knows that if he releases his tax returns, they're going to find something in there to attack him for. Even as George Will pointed out, though, we are in the very peculiar situation where if he has done everything that he legally ought to have done with his taxes, even if he was smart in the way that he dealt with his taxes, now he is really being put under the microscope by the media. That is a double standard, and we all know that there is a vendetta out for precisely the reason that I laid out. It's to prevent
There's no discussion of Obama's college records, which he's never released, and other candidates have released in the past. Before we're out of time, I want to get to a Paul Ryan clip, though, and find out, this is one that your colleague Brett Bozell was highlighting with Sean Hannity the other night. I want to play this and find out again where you think things are going wrong. Here it is.
They are deciding that this is a base election.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a pick for suburban moms. This is not a pick for women. This is for the base.
Andrea Mitchell from MSNBC, or is it NBC, saying this isn't a pick for women and she's going after him. He's just been announced. Where's the problem there?
Well, first of all, factually, it's incorrect. You do know, if we're talking about suburban moms, folks should know that married women have gone more and more. The trend is more and more for the Republican ticket. As a matter of fact, a majority of married women supported McCain in 2008 over Obama. So first of all, it's factually incorrect. But the bigger theme here is that the press is trying to portray Paul Ryan as Freddy Krueger. They're trying to portray him as someone who is a radical and an extremist and a budget slasher and someone who is going to take away all of your civil rights. When in reality, if you look at Obama's record, Obama has actually been the one, for example, who has cut
He's the one that's cut Medicare. Yeah. It is fascinating, Christian. Christian, we're going to have to leave it there. It is fascinating. I'm sure we'll have plenty of examples over the next little while. Thanks for talking to us today.
Thanks for having me on.